Good. So it's being live streamed. So hello, people on YouTube. Nice to be here with you. We're just waiting a couple more moments for people to come in. And while we're waiting, it's always interesting to notice the experience of waiting. Are you using this as an opportunity for awareness? Or are you thinking, oh, I don't have to be aware yet, because Vidyamala's not encouraged that yet. But every moment is an opportunity for awareness. And so while we're waiting to start formally, it can be really nice just to rest into the body, let go of the day, settle, that kind of thing. So Miriam, good evening from North London. It's such a privilege to be connected with like-minded people from around the globe. I realise I haven't mentioned that before. Loving the spring flowers and now would like the weather to match. Yes, yes, I agree. But it is amazing and a privilege to be connected with like-minded people from around the world. I completely agree. And then we've got Catherine from Otley in West Yorkshire. Katie's here from Cheltenham. And Anna. Brr, cold, beautiful blue skies today, but chilly. I'm in Glasgow. Yes, Glasgow's in the north, so I imagine that is chilly. Okay, so I think we'll begin now. So a big welcome, everybody, and a special welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. This is a really wonderful community that we've been creating and kind of resting within for 3 years now. Yeah, the pandemic started in March 2020, and that's when we started running these weekly meditation sessions, and they just kept going for 3 years. Amazing, really amazing, and it's seen us through many challenging times, hasn't it? We've had the pandemic and the lockdowns, all the fears, of course, and then we had a year ago the invasion of Ukraine, and all the everything that's happened since then. Cost of living crises, and here we are week after week after week coming back and sitting in solidarity with one another and with all beings, all the people in the world. So I thought today what we'll do is a connection practice. So we'll do a practice where I'll guide us into body awareness first of all, and we'll connect with ourselves with kindness, and I'll use breathing as a way of imagining kindness pouring through the body on the in-breath and the out-breath, through the body, the heart, the mind. And then what we'll do is we'll extend that out to others. So I'll guide that. I'll guide the whole practice. You don't have to remember anything. Just rest back and go on this little journey together for the next half hour. Okay, I'm just going to close the chat box so I can't see the messages coming in. Good. Okay, so the first thing to do is to settle. So as I said earlier, to choose the position that you want to meditate in, and you can do it lying down, you can do it sitting, you can even do it standing. The main thing is to be conscious about how we position the body. Very often we just kind of collapse, don't we? We collapse into a position and we don't really think about, well, how is my body? What does my body need right now? So to spend a few moments really considering that, and ideally you're choosing a position where you're not likely to go to sleep. So if you're very sleepy, you could try sitting up. But if that's very, very uncomfortable, then of course lying down. I can see Kerry laughing at that. I've just got a few of you along the top of my screen. I can see Kerry looking very comfy and maybe sleepy. Good. Okay, and then you can close your eyes if you'd like to. It's really up to you, but it can be quite helpful to close the eyes if that's comfortable. Just reduces input, allows the mind to quieten. But if that's not appropriate for you or it's a bit disturbing, then of course you can keep your eyes open or lower your gaze. And beginning to get a sense of the weight of the body resting down into the chair, into the floor, into the bed, whatever the surface is that we're resting upon. Can we allow the body to be held and supported? Letting go of gripping, of holding on and resting. If you find it helpful, you could take a deeper breath in. And on the out breath, releasing and letting go a little bit more. Do that a few times if you'd like to. And with each out breath, yielding, resting, arriving in the present, arriving in the body. And then when you're ready, allowing your breathing to find its own natural rhythm. An opening phase on the in-breath and a subsiding phase on the out-breath. Letting the buttocks be soft, yielding, releasing so the breathing can drop deeper inside the body. The belly swelling and subsiding with each breath cycle. The chest rising and falling. And if it doesn't feel appropriate to rest inside breathing, for any reason, maybe it's a bit disturbing, you could shift your awareness into your hands, your feet, your buttocks, anything that's stabilizing and grounding. And to help us arrive a little bit more fully, drop down inside the body. Let's imagine that awareness is pouring all the way down the body to fill the feet and the legs. And see if we can experience this directly. So we're not thinking about it in the abstract or looking in from the outside, but rather we can get a sense of awareness filling the legs from the inside. This might be known through sensation, it might be known through temperature, might be known through contact with the floor, our clothes on the legs, or it might be known through numbness, through absence of sensation. Some of us may have health conditions where there's a numbness in the legs, but we can still have a sense of resting, inhabiting that part of the body with awareness. And if we've got discomfort or pain, noticing any tendency to contract against it, to resist, to tense against it. If we notice this, then seeing if we can allow this to soften, yielding into the earth. Could even imagine breathing, softening the hard edges in the legs and the feet. And noticing the way the experience will label pain as if it's a thing is in fact a flow of sensations, never exactly the same one moment to the next. And allowing the sensations to flow through the moments without resistance. pleasant feelings in the legs. We enjoy these without grasping and holding on. We let these flow through the moments. And now coming to the buttocks. Whatever our position, our posture, let's see if we can let the buttocks be soft. If we're sitting on a chair or we're lying down on something, can we let the buttocks rest into that surface? Now allowing awareness to pour up to fill the whole torso, inside the torso. So again, we're not thinking about it as an abstract idea, but we're inhabiting the torso, the whole front, the belly and the chest, and the whole back, the back of the body, spine and the breadth of the back of the body. An opening phase in all directions on the in-breath and a yielding, subsiding phase in all directions on the out-breath. And seeing if we can let our breathing be natural. We're not forcing it or changing it in any particular way. Just resting inside the movements and sensations of breathing in the whole torso, the front, the back, the sides. Perhaps getting a sense of the volume of the whole torso expanding on the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath in all directions. And now coming to the shoulders and the arms. So at this point, let's check that the hands are supported. If we're sitting or lying, that they're resting on the legs, in the lap, maybe at the sides of the body if we're lying down. It's whatever's most comfortable. But letting the hands be supported in this way means that the shoulders can fall away from the midline of the body, down and back, yielding into gravity. And allowing awareness to pour through the shoulders all the way down inside the arms, hands, fingers, thumbs. So the arms become full of awareness, drenched in awareness. And again, whatever sensations are present or absent, allowing experience to flow through the moments, softening the tendency to resist against the unpleasant or the painful, or to hang on to the pleasant. Feeling into the fluid and changing nature of experience in the arms, hands, fingers, thumbs. Flowing back up through the arms, through the shoulders. And let's come into the neck and the head. If we're lying down, checking that we're giving the weight of the head up fully to the pillow, the cushion. If we're sitting or standing, letting the head be poised on the top of the neck. Checking the angle, maybe having the chin tucked in just a tiny bit so there's release through the base of the skull and yet openness in the throat. Letting the jaw, tongue, lips be soft. Face soft, the eyes soft, the forehead soft. And letting the brain rest inside the head. Imagining this too to be soft, fluid. The brain is mostly water, mostly fluids. And if you've got lots of thoughts and it feels very tight in there, then letting the brain rest can be supportive. And experiencing the head as a limb of the body. So feeling the physicality of the head. It's not separate to the body. It's part of the body. And broadening to be aware of the whole body. Legs and the torso and the arms and the neck and the head and the face. Experiencing the body as a whole. But feeling the way this experience of body is in itself fluid and changing. It's not static. It's not a thing. It's a flow of breathing, a flow of sensations, energy, tingling, all these kind of things. And seeing if we can rest in a quality of awareness that allows everything to arise and pass, moment by moment. And including our emotions, of course, our emotional weather, allowing this too to flow through the moments. So we're awake to our experience without getting swept away. Grounded in the body, grounded in the moment. Letting our emotions arise and pass, arise and pass. And let's see if we can bring an attitude of care, of kindness, of interest towards all of our experience. Meeting it the way we would naturally meet a loved one. With an open heart, care, interest, curiosity. Feeling tender towards anything painful and joyful in relation to anything open and happy that we're experiencing. Now, staying grounded and present, let's open our awareness and invite in a friend into our imagination. So we could imagine them as an image or a feeling. And we're just resting in the presence of our friend, maybe sitting together. Whatever's going to be most alive for you at this moment. Whether it's an image or a friend or a memory, or an image or a feeling or a memory perhaps. And just really taking your friend into your heart. They're not an object, but they're a living, breathing human being just like you. They'll have pains they tend to resist, pleasures they tend to cling onto, just like oneself. Their experience of life will be rich and complex, just like one's own is. If it works, you could imagine really breathing in awareness of our friend, and then on the out breath, imagine kindness and care and love pouring out towards them. And if it doesn't work using breathing, you can do it some other way. Letting the breathing remain natural. If you use the breath. And now let's include everyone here on this call. There's 95 of us here, and there'll be many others over on YouTube. Here we all are, living, breathing human beings together. And so often, if we're honest, we just see others as objects, as kind of inanimate objects that we don't really care about. So practicing opening our awareness and having a felt sense that we're all here together as complex, vibrant, living, breathing humans. We'll all tend to push against pain, and we'll all tend to chase after pleasure in one way or another. And these twin reactions, if you like, create all kinds of dramas in our lives. We're also very, very alike. And we're all here because we're longing for some kind of freedom, of peace, fulfillment, happiness, however you want to describe it. So let's breathe together for a few moments, breathing in awareness, breathing out love and kindliness towards one another. And now let's open to include all beings everywhere, the humans and the non-humans, the animals and the creatures, all participating in this great web and flow of life together. And now let's bring the weight of the body to the foreground of awareness. Staying connected with the great web of life, but allowing that to fall a little bit into the background. Bring the body to the foreground, the sense of stability and groundedness, breathing in the body. And just sitting here quietly or lying or standing, whatever position we're in, for a few moments, and absorbing the effect of the practice before we conclude. So bring a little bit of movement into the body if we want to, maybe the fingers and the toes, just experimenting with moving. Noticing if you immediately start holding the breath and gripping in the body, the heart, the mind, seeing if we can keep things open and fluid. Coming into bigger movements, whatever the body's calling for. Opening the eyes if you've had them closed. Bringing the practice to a close. Wonderful. Let's just look at one another for a bit if we're able to. It's always a really lovely thing to do after the connection practice, just to take one another in and allow oneself to be received by everyone else. And for anyone who's here for the first time, you could just slip away if you want to, but I always stay on for a bit and people share a little bit what they experienced in the chat. I always read everything out because we have people here who are unable to read the chat sometimes. And as you know, these sessions are part of what we call our community of practice, which is our online kind of community platform. It's really wonderful. And it's free, and but of course, nothing runs for free in this world. It costs us a lot of money every year, about 30,000. So if you're able to give a donation, if you've enjoyed this sit, then the tech person Ollie is going to put the link in the chat box. So you could just, no amount is too small or too great, of course. Good. Okay. So yeah, lovely to see you all. So Lizzie saying thank you. That was so, with lots of O's, relaxing. And Alison, thank you for such a beautiful practice. Marion, breathing, searching, connecting, allowing, being, in capital letters. Thank you all. Those are lovely words. Breathing, searching, connecting, allowing, being. And then various thanks. And Dermot's saying now grounded a little more. That's good. And Sarah, feel very blessed to share this space with you all. Thank you. No debt. Love the meditation. Such heartfelt words. Connection is what brings us all together. Yes, exactly. Connection. Such an important quality. And we are wired up for connection as humans. When we're connected, it has all kinds of health benefits. It's very, very interesting. It's kind of in our DNA to be connected. And Olivia, really fantastic part about emptying the brain. It's a relief, isn't it, when you can just think, oh, it's all just squidgy in there rather than full of content. Because so much of the content is, in my experience, a load of rubbish anyway. And Meg, thank you so much for a beautiful connection practice. It's such a blessing to be part of this wonderful community. So just looking out and seeing lots of familiar faces, new faces. Angela, lovely to be here with you all. Always feel calmer with you, Vidyamala. Thank you. Well, I really appreciate these practices myself. I was not particularly calm 45 minutes ago. So it's done me a lot of good as well. And David and Tammy, thank you so much. Great to share time together with everyone. Blessings to all. Yes, and Katie saying 75% the same rubbish we've thought before. Exactly, and that's generous. I think the stats are something like 95% of our thoughts we've had before. So you're doing really well, Katie, if it's only 75%. And Lisa, thank you for the session. I find that when I meditate, it soothes and reduces my discomfort. How do you achieve the same when you experience discomfort when in public and can't stop and meditate? Thank you. Well, that's a good question. You probably, in some ways, I don't think we can expect to have exactly the same experience, in a busy public life as when we're sitting quietly. But one way you can do it is simply to breathe out. There's lots and lots of evidence that lengthening the out breath is a way of hacking into the nervous system and calming things down, because usually when we're agitated, our breath gets shorter and shallower. And the out breath brings online the part of the nervous system to do with calm. So if you can't do anything else, simply breathe out. And you don't need to worry about the in-breath, that will take care of itself. But it's holding the out breath that causes a lot of our stress. And then Karen, thank you. Please could someone post the link for donations? So I'll just post it again. Oh, he's on it. Ollie's on it. There we are. Brilliant. Ollie, the invisible Ollie, Breathworks Zoom account 3, has a name, Ollie, who's amazing. He just comes here week after week after week and so generous and humble and totally on it. And we've had no Zoom bomb issues this week, because he said that's fine, there won't be any Zoom bombs this week, because he knows how to prevent that. So amazing when you think how disturbing it was last week. And Ollie's just on it. Brilliant. Thanks, Ollie. And then Sarah's saying, love the brain as a fifth limb. Yeah, I find that really helpful, because when we get stressed, it can feel like you've got the head and then the body, as if they're kind of separate universes. But the head is physical. The head is a part of the body. And Mark, just heard a professor say how our thoughts change us positively on a cell level. This half hour has done that. Yeah, they do. Everything's very fluid in there. So every thought is affecting our nervous system. We've got cellular plasticity. It's very, very powerful to think about that. And also sobering. Everything has an effect. And Ollie's saying, I am extremely humble. You are, Ollie. I think you're meaning that ironically, but I think you really are. And then Yuhura, thank you for today, Vidyamala. I am sitting in my pajamas and trying to relax. Love the feeling of connection with you all. And Susan, thank you. I felt very sad and vulnerable, and I was able to give myself some kindness. That's really good. And Miriam, well done, Ollie. And thank you, Vidyamala, and all here. And then Kelly, stretched my cramped leg muscles just to the point where the pain sensation begins. And then as an ambassador of my entirety, encourage them with love and compassion. So grateful for bearable moments, concept and revelation. It's thrilling to realize how many moments are just fine. Oh, that's remarkable, Kelly. Stretch my cramped leg muscles just to the point where pain sensation begins, and then as an ambassador of my entirety, encourage them with love and compassion. That's beautifully put. So grateful for bearable moments, concept and revelation. It's thrilling to realize how many moments are just fine. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's true, isn't it? Even when it can feel so difficult, there are many moments that are just fine. But a part of the body being an ambassador of one's entirety, that's very good. All right, that seems a really good note to end on. So let's leave it there, and we'll see you next week. Have a good week. And if you really don't know what to do with yourself, just breathe out. Good. So if you want to unmute to say goodbye, Ollie will enable that. And yeah, fantastic. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamala.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
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 Well done, Ollie. You're very humble.
Bye, humble Ollie. Humblest Ollie.
He's probably going to be so humble he won't respond.
Irritatingly humble.
See you
next week.
Yeah,
Thank
lovely.
you for coming to my living room.
Oh, that's a pleasure.
See you next week.
Yes, good, good.